How was that data used? And I'd be curious to know, how was it used in targeting very specific political pro-Trump messages?
I didn't work on the Trump campaign, but I can talk in a more general way about how cookies are used on media websites. So for instance, with Breitbart, we would have been able to have access to the cookie data of what individuals on which devices are looking at different articles, looking at different content. That means when we are uploading a list of individuals that we want to talk to about certain issues, we can start to make sure that different pieces of creative material or political advertising are shown to individuals based on what we already know that they're interested in. That's the way that any other media website works, any other actual website where you accept cookies.
But you can't speak specifically to how Breitbart data was used at Cambridge Analytica.
No, because I wasn't involved in the Trump campaign, but I can say that obviously.
But surely you were in the know. You were talking to people. You were part of the company. You know how the targeted messaging works. So much so that you're launching a campaign to help us own our data. Even if you didn't work specifically with the Trump campaign, I'm sure you had some knowledge of how that worked.
Of course. So say, for instance, you had logged on to Breitbart's website and you had been reading material over and over about Obamacare. We might take that as a hint that you are likely to be in opposition to that, or that healthcare is one of your top line issues. So instead of talking to you about border control or education, we're going to start to talk to you about healthcare issues and what Donald Trump as a candidate stood for on those issues.
I can't help but look at Cambridge Analytica, and Facebook obviously did not take control of the platform in an important way, but Cambridge Analytica also utilized data in a way that us users felt incredibly violated. So as you push yourself forward to be the person to help people own their data, you don't see any irony in that you've got a little bit of the Cambridge Analytica tarnish on you with what's happened over the last years.
Well, I'm still really concerned that people find issues with how Cambridge Analytica used data, but they didn't find issues with how we used it on the Obama campaigns. I was in the Obama campaign in 07, 08, and no, we weren't using data in the same way that Cambridge Analytica was, but the 2012 campaign definitely was. Nobody was outraged about getting Barack Obama into office for a second time using these exact same methods.
But it wasn't those exact same methods, because people filled out a personality quiz that it scraped all their friends' data that was then given to Cambridge Analytica, whereas in the Obama campaign, there was an app and they knew their data was being used for political purposes. So it was that knowledge that's a very key difference. And also, in one situation, one violated Facebook's policies.
Right. So the campaigns that the Democrats have run and the amount of data that they've collected and received is almost the exact same way that Cambridge Analytica works. So I suppose the outrage is coming on either side only when people disagree with the political outcome.
I would only push back on that because I think there are very specific examples here of how data was used. And sure, people are always going to be upset if their candidate doesn't win. People are upset in general over data, but these are two different situations.
Yes, slightly different, only because there are different years and different technologies existed at the time. I think if you talk to people from the Obama 2012 campaign, you could find a lot of very questionable ways that they collected data, not only through Facebook, but by other means.
Like what? You worked on the campaign, like what?
I wasn't there in 2012, no.
Okay.
So I only have secondhand information, which I don't usually like to take strong stances on.